This is Rob Temple for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. We're here today at the Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz Jr. Undercard press conference. How you doing, Ed?
Doing really well. I was baffled by that turnout. I mean, it was like a main event turnout, wasn't it? And fight week's going really well. We obviously had our few beers on Monday, which was a good crack, wasn't it? And then yesterday, great workout. This today, tomorrow's going to be just huge because there's a real rush going through New York right now about Anthony Joshua. It's just going to keep building and building. Culminating in the big weigh-in on Friday, which we expect sort of 4,000 or 5,000 there for. It's going to be fantastic.
Just want to start with Marco Antonio Periban. Where was he today?
He's flying this morning, so he'll arrive unfortunately this afternoon. And Ray Robinson, unfortunately his daughter was unwell and his wife works full time, so he had to look after her today. But he'll be here tomorrow morning, and all good to go.
Any jeopardy of that fight potentially not taking place with Ray Robinson?
No. All good. Nothing ultra serious, but just couldn't get someone to take her where she needed to be today. So we allowed him a pass till tomorrow.
Very generous of you. Let's start with that fight, Josh Kelly versus Ray Robinson. You mentioned Ray Robinson beat Eugenie Kavalauskas, the name that you can pronounce, but ironically Josh Kelly could. Great fight.
Yeah, really good fight. Probably one that I guess goes under the radar a little bit because people who don't really follow boxing will say, Ray Robinson, who's he? Other than the one we know. But if you look at the level of opposition he's mixed at compared to Josh, this is a massive step up. And Robinson's very clever and awkward and can make things very tricky as well. So Josh has normally been that person. Do you know what I mean? So he's probably got to force this fight a little bit more than he normally does because he doesn't want to be out-tricked and just out-pointed by Ray Robinson. So he's got to be active and, you know, I'm expecting a really tough fight. I'm quite nervous for that fight because, like I said, although they only gave him a draw in that Kavalauskas fight, he clearly won that fight. And he is Kavalauskas' top 5 really with most governing bodies. So this is a fight that's going to put him in a great position, both from an experience perspective and a rankings perspective. And, you know, I'm excited for him.
Chris Algieri, Tommy Coyle faced off today. First time I've seen them next to each other. Quite a size disparity.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Algieri is a huge 140 pounder. I mean, he takes a massive amount of weight off. And Tommy really is coming up from lightweight. He is short, but Algieri looks huge compared to him. Algieri would have a lot of weight to take off, by the way, till Friday. Tommy's probably there or thereabouts already. So, look, Tommy's well out of his depth in that fight from an experience perspective, maybe from even an ability perspective. But you know what he's going to give. It's his dream opportunity. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. I think he's improved massively under Jamie Moore. I think his confidence is up. I think he's buzzing. I think he's in great shape. And, you know, although Algieri didn't have a great camp going into the Danny Gonzalez fight here, he didn't look that good, to be honest with you. He looked a bit tired and got marked up, got cut a little bit. So I expect that to be a great fight. That's probably going to be our first televised fight. So when you come off the Champions League, you're going to switch straight into Algieri Coyle, which is just going to really whet the appetite for the night ahead. So I'm really looking forward to that fight. I think it could be fight of the night.
Just moving away, we've spoken about Smith and Dam and various other undercard fights. One fight I haven't spoken to you about yet is the undisputed lightweight title fight between Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon. Delphine Persoon here to win. Yeah,
spoke really well. I mean, you know, both of them out there trying to create history for their countries. Ireland for Katie, where she's already, you know, a legend really, and then of course Delphine in Belgium, which would be a massive win for them. This was always, like I said, when we sat down the fight that didn't say we didn't want to take, but it was the champion that we knew would be the toughest fight. So where Katie had limited pro experience, we preferred the other champions. Don't mind saying that, do you know what I mean? And we knew that one day Persoon would probably be the undisputed fight. It was just a case of whether she'd actually do it and accept it, being such a big star in Belgium. She hasn't lost in 9 years, you know. So it was one of them where if we paid up and if we got an occasion like this, she may do it, and that's what happened. I think if it was in Ireland, if it was in the UK, I don't think she would have done it. I think this was just too big an opportunity to turn down. And I'm so excited for Katie. She is, as I've said in many interviews, my favourite fighter that we represent. I just think she's amazing. I think she's just the ultimate role model, the ultimate athlete. The single-mindedness that she has is something that really, it sounds a bit cheesy, inspires me because she's so focused. You know, she doesn't think about anything. She doesn't want to do anything else. She won't allow herself to do anything else. You know, she's turned down major sponsorship deals because she might have to do an appearance that don't suit her training schedule. And I'm like, Brian Peters, he's out there. No, don't. You've got to take this. She's like, no, I've got to train, and I'm not going to be doing that. And I'm like, wow. So, just hope she can do it. Going to be a tough fight. She has a massive speed advantage. She probably doesn't punch as hard as Persoon. Persoon's really awkward as well. She sort of jumps around and throws from weird angles. But Katie is the favourite, should win. Pray to God she wins, because to see her become undisputed champion in there that's it, mate. That doesn't make her life complete, because she's always striving for something more. But it's, to win Olympic gold, 5 world championships, 6 European championships, and then win all the world titles and become undisputed. I don't know what else you can do other than just have massive defining legacy fights against Serrano and Breakhouse and fights like that. But incredible achievement.
Moving away from Saturday night's card, you know what I'm about to ask you. Deontay Wilder versus Lewis-Ortiz 2. Thoughts?
The rumour that we didn't want to be true came true. And it's embarrassing, really, because what they done was Joshua went on ESPN First Take yesterday and said, there's only one fight I want after Ruiz. That's Deontay Wilder. After the fight, we should sit down, me and him, man to man, and get this done. A couple of hours later, Wilder goes, oh yeah, actually I've signed a fight to fight Ortiz. What, you signed it a couple of hours ago, did you? Or you just felt that was the right time to announce? All the pressure's been on Wilder this week, and he knew that on Saturday night, if Joshua is victorious, all the pressure would be on him. And he couldn't handle it. So he wanted to get this fight news out. It's pathetic, to be honest with you. But I don't know, I'm only glad now people are starting to see the truth. And when you read the responses to his posts and stuff like that, you can see it now. How can you have any other thing in your mind other than Wilder will not accept this fight? It's obvious. So now people are seeing it, and we have to get on with what we know we can do, what we know is happening. And I keep saying, forget about Wilder, concentrate on Andy Ruiz. I saw him yesterday, he's a feisty little fat fucker, and he's going to go for this. And he don't mind calling himself a fat fucker, so that's why I'm doing it. I respect him, he's a tough bastard, he's got speed, he's got plenty of heart, he can punch. This is going to be a tough fight. So we've got to focus on what we do know, which is we have Andy Ruiz. After that, we'll move on to the next opponent. Deontay Wilder is going to fight Ortiz, then he's going to fight Konaki, and he's going to mess everybody around, and he's going to let all the fans down. So we have to worry about our career, and the only thing that is on our minds right now is Saturday.
It kind of reminds me, Wilder Fury was announced during Joshua Povetkin fight week, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he's built his whole profile off Anthony Joshua, and he has value. He's a great champion, but everything that he does is based around Joshua, unfortunately, except fighting him. So you'll see on Saturday night, you'll see a real show, and you'll see hopefully a great performance from the best heavyweight in the world.
Now, you've just mentioned, obviously, Wilder's going to box Ortiz. You told us yesterday that Fury's accepted a fight with Dillian Whyte. So if that fight comes off, where does that leave Anthony Joshua? I'm not looking past Andy Ruiz this weekend, but where would that leave him with available opponents? Kubrat Pulev potentially for the IBF?
He has 2 mandatories. He has a WBO mandatory, which could be Usyk or whoever they appoint. They haven't officially appointed anyone yet. And he has an IBF mandatory in Kubrat Pulev. So whether it's one of those next, we just have to keep dealing with the mandatories, keep winning. If Wilder won't fight Joshua, there's not really a lot we can do. So we have to keep focused and winning. That's all that matters.
With the announcement of Wilder versus Ortiz too, would you now be making a beeline to make the Whyte fight, to make the Fury fight for Joshua?
Possibly. I mean, again, a lot depends on the mandatory situations. I think the Dillian Whyte fight is potentially, but he's also on the verge of becoming Wilder's mandatory, which would be nice as well. And of course now the WBC have ordered Fury against Whyte. So again, it's all a little bit up in the air. Are we thinking about the next fight? Yeah, a little bit. But really, all I want is to get the win on Saturday, and then we start getting the wheels in motion for a November-December fight for Joshua.
Okay, well, Eddie Hearn, always a pleasure catching up with you. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you.